About lawyers and what they do for a living.
That's why I don't want to go.
How do you feel about lawyers?
More like liars.
But a lot of people don't know that lawyers are essential to our community and society. Lawyers are masters of processes, and the democratic processes of government require a vigilant legal profession for their protection.
Arkansas ranks at the bottom of the list in America. With 20 lawyers to every 10,000 people, we definitely are in desperate need of lawyers.
States that are more rural tend to have less lawyers. If you notice, the states like Wyoming and Montana, and the states in the Northeast that are more populated like New York and Pennsylvania.
In Arkansas, the placement of lawyers is very disproportionate. The majority of lawyers live and practice in areas such as Little Rock, Benton, and Northwest Arkansas. This can become a problem for people living in rural communities in Southeast Arkansas. Arkansas has the lowest number of lawyers per capita of any state, and the problem is even worse in these rural communities. In areas like Southeast Arkansas, there can be an average of one attorney for every 1,300 residents. The map featured here shows the percentage of African American population in each county in Arkansas as of 2010. As you can tell, this map depicts that there are more people of color than the south and southeast regions of Arkansas than in anywhere else in the state. What a coincidence that these are also the regions with the lowest number of lawyers.
Did you know that Arkansas has the lowest number of lawyers per capita in the U.S.?
No, I did not.
Lawyers can help citizens in social justice movements and help them maintain their rights and all the things that they deserve as citizens of the United States.
Do you think there are unjust laws?
Yes, and to the extent that there's unjust laws, there's an unjust application of the existing laws. So people are systematically discriminated against through the current laws because of things like their race or ethnicity and whatnot. And that leads to a really uneven application of the rule of law. So it's unfortunate.
Thank you.
So what happens in our communities when there's not enough lawyers?
What do you think can happen in situations where there's a known lack of access to justice?
Well, the certain population will get advantage of, and there will not be enough representation for those individuals and their rights to express freely about what their actions or how the accusations are being performed.
Having an inadequate amount of lawyers leads to a lack of access to information and enforcement of legal rights in rural communities, which has significant repercussions. These include possibly violating state and federal laws, and this means people with disabilities go without access to public benefits or employment. This also means without adequate access to legal assistance, individuals living in rural areas face risk of eviction.
There are many ways that a lack of access to justice would interfere with Nussbaum's list of capabilities, and viewing it from the capabilities approach, you can see where this becomes a real issue for equality and justice in our societies. Things like bodily health, when we talk about eviction, that would interfere with shelter, and bodily integrity would interfere with things like mobility and whether or not you're free from violence. Because if you're stuck in a divorce, you're not free from violence if you're stuck with an abusive spouse or if you're stuck in an abusive home. This trickles down and affects our society and people's capabilities. Have an attorney who could defend you in court to fight your employment case. And 10, being control over one's environment, the political participation, property, and employment. Obviously, that's a huge one. If there's some sort of law that is keeping you from participating politically in your community or somehow harming your ability to hold property or to maintain employment, that is something that in a normal situation you could go and find an attorney to help you fight your case and to fix that error that's keeping you from having equal opportunities as everyone around you. But in situations where you don't have those lawyers and communities, that is something that we see, is that people do not have control over their own environment, and there's really nothing that they can do about it.
Not only does this go against the principles that are outlined in the central capabilities, but it also goes against the principles that we outlined in the Constitution as Americans. U.S. citizens are supposed to be guaranteed a right to a speedy trial and an attorney. And if an attorney isn't available for criminal law when you're being tried for that, or attorney isn't available for divorce law when that's what you need an attorney for, then a judge might have to delay your case several weeks, leaving you unable to get a divorce or unable to be proven innocent, which can put a hold on your life, your ability to get a job, your ability to move on with your family. A lot of times the attorneys that are sent down to rural areas that don't have a lot of lawyers present aren't even familiar with that type of law. So you might have a criminal lawyer trying to prove that you are the most fit parent to take your child, or you might have a divorce lawyer trying to get you out of a drug charge. And that's just not fair to the people that are being accused of these crimes.